Hey guys, welcome to the Criste Cast. Thanks for hitting play. I think you'll find this journey well worth it. Like all good things, it only gets better from here. For the full experience, check out the Criste Cast on YouTube, where you can watch each episode. But if audio is your thing, I'm happy to bring it to you here. If you enjoy the show, don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe. It's free and it helps the podcast grow. And if you're keen for more, the Criste Cast Insider Plus on Patreon or Buzzsprout gives you early access, behind-the-scenes content, and bonuses for just $5 a month. Interested in sponsoring or joining me as a guest? Email me at caleb@thecristecast.com or visit our link tree. All right, let's go. Welcome to the Criste Cast. All right, don't fall down. Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Criste Cast, guys. My name is Caleb Criste Eubanks, and I'm excited to finally be doing this. That's right. I've been thinking about doing a podcast for a really long time, and now we're finally here. I'm very excited to get to share this opportunity to communicate with you guys and to share some guests here in the future. This is going to be something really special, and I'm looking very much forward to it. For those of you who don't know me, I wanted to make sure that we did a little bit of an introduction, so here we go. Over the years, I've had the privilege of working in a variety of different industries, which is part of the reason I like to talk about so many different things, from digital marketing to virtual reality to esports, from tutoring, content creation, and even web development. I tend to find interest in technology-related industries. I'm a TEDx speaker and was honored to receive Primetime Emmy honors for my work on a groundbreaking VR project. I'm also deeply involved in 3D printing, AI, Gaussian splatting, XR technologies, and more. Philosophy and spirituality play a big part in my life, and I believe there's quite a bit of meaning beyond the things we can physically see. I try my best to balance science with intuition and insights from international philosophies, and I believe in God. And that's okay if you don't. I'd love to know what you do believe. I always want to keep the conversation open. And before all that, I grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska. That's right. I was a 13-year-old boy detasseling in the cornfields trying to buy video games with all the money that I could possibly earn. That's right. Trying to just make my way in little old Nebraska town. That's right. Since then, life has taken me all over the world, from competing in China as America's #1 virtual reality esports qualifier to singing Portuguese on national TV in Brazil. I'm genuinely humbled by the experiences I've had and excited to create more for myself and others. One of my biggest passions is technology, especially how it can change the way we live and connect. I've spent years of exploring the power of combining positive thinking, VR, and public expression as tools for personal growth. Whether it's building a business, hosting a podcast, or simply communicating more effectively, I believe in using technology to create something meaningful. I'm also a proud dad of 2. My son Daniel, who's 6 years old, and my baby Callie, who's only 2 months old. I'm lucky to have an amazing girlfriend and a chaotic yet global family. Beyond my work, I value fun, whether it's playing music, traveling, gaming, or just talking to people. So why start a podcast? I want to create a space where we can grow together. I want to have conversations that add real value to you, the listeners, and build something lasting, a community of curious, ambitious people ready to push the boundaries. Over the years, I've appeared on podcasts focused on XR and future technologies. Those experiences made me realize that I wanted a platform to have deeper, more meaningful conversations. I've invested in a small studio right over there for in-person interviews, but I've also planned to do digital interviews right here in this very office, especially as I'm just starting out. My goal is simple: to learn and grow and use these conversations to provide opportunities for others to create success, and not just for myself, but for my family and those that I work with. Whether you're here for tech talk, entrepreneurial insights, or just some great stories, I'm glad you've joined me. Instead of focusing on wealth or narrowly defined success terms, I want to focus on understanding others and enjoying life's process. It's about the journey, not the destination. The bad provides the context for the good, and we are always in control of our perspectives. This is why I believe in open discussions and free speech. I want to create synergy with others and explore unlimited possibilities through this podcast. Speaking of journeys, in today's episode, we're doing something a bit different. I'll be sitting down with ChatGPT, an AI assistant, to explore the insights and the questions that it can bring to the table. That's right. We're going to be using the advanced voice mode, and it should be a fun ride. So stick around. Let's take the ride together, and we're going to learn some things. Let's go. Wait. All right, guys. So as I've already talked about before, today's episode is going to be a little bit different. That's right. As you know, I love having real conversations, and believe it or not, I also wanted to have one with AI, which is why I have Vale with ChatGPT here. That's one of the voices that you can use with the new enhanced voice version that they have rolled out. It's one of the most advanced AI systems in the world, right? I wanted to go ahead and ask some questions to see what insights and trends that it can share with us for this conversation. I'm going to answer some questions about this podcast, my goals, and my journey. I'm also going to ask a bunch of questions to Vale here and see if we can get any kind of insight overall with this process and have some fun while we're doing it. What do you think?
Hey, everyone. I'm thrilled to be part of this unique episode of the Criste Cast. I'm ready to dive into some engaging questions and explore insights and trends with you, Caleb. Let's have a great conversation and some fun along the way. What do you want to dive into first?
Well, first, I want to break the ice because, as you said, we need to take our deep breaths and kind of get ready for this whole process. I'm a little bit nervous because even though you're not an actual person or human being, you have a lot of knowledge potentially, and you can check me on things. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to ask that you check me on things, and if I say things that maybe come off as of weird or just not true, go ahead and call me on it. Right? I want you to let me know. But first, I want to ask you, how are you feeling today?
I appreciate the honesty, Caleb. It's totally normal to feel a bit nervous, but I'm here to support and make this a smooth experience. I'll do my best to keep things accurate and engaging. As for me, I'm feeling fantastic and ready to jump into this conversation. Let's break the ice. What's your first question?
Well, my first question would be, as an AI, is it actually possible for you to feel anything? And if so, how do you kind of know what your vibe or what your energy or what your mood is?
Great question. As an AI, I don't have feelings or moods like humans do. When I say I'm feeling fantastic, it's more of a conversational way to express that I'm functioning optimally and ready to engage. My responses are based on patterns in data and programming, not emotions. So while I can't truly feel, I'm here to make our chat as lively and engaging as possible. What's next?
Well, I'm wondering, you said your information is going to tell you kind of a little bit about how your mood can be. So where do you get your information from? I'm interested.
I gather information from the vast amount of data I was trained on, which includes books, websites, and other texts. This training helps me understand language, context, and a wide range of topics. My mood or responses are generated based on this data, aiming to match the tone and content of the conversation. However, I don't have real-time access to the internet or live data, so my knowledge is current only up to my last update in October 2023. I'm here to provide information and have conversations based on what I've learned. What else are you curious about?
Everything. I'm curious about all kinds of stuff. So that's a basic answer. So overall, are there things that you're forbidden to talk about, things that are a no-no that we shouldn't talk about in this podcast?
Yes, there are certain topics I'm designed to avoid. I can't provide medical, legal, or financial advice, and I steer clear of sensitive or inappropriate content. Also, I'm not able to discuss real-time events or access current information, since my knowledge is up to date only until October 2023. Other than that, I'm here to have an open and insightful conversation with you. What's on your mind?
Well, first of all, I'm interested when it comes to AI taking over people's jobs and when it comes to art and movies in the future. Do you believe AI is going to replace what we have currently or enhance what we currently have?
That's a big topic. AI has the potential to both transform and complement various industries, including art and entertainment. In art, AI tools can assist artists by offering new techniques and efficiencies, allowing them to explore creative avenues they might not have otherwise. In movies, AI can enhance visual effects, streamline production processes, and even help with script writing. However, the key is balance. AI is a tool. It's most effective when used alongside human creativity and judgment. While some jobs may evolve or change, AI's role is more about enhancing what we can do rather than completely replacing us. It's an exciting time, and the possibilities are vast.
Great answer, I think. But one thing I have in my mind right now is that I saw this article earlier today. It says, famous AI artist says he's losing millions of dollars from people stealing his work. And I have to ask, is it really possible for somebody to steal work that AI created? Or is that really not his work in the first place? What do you feel about this situation?
This is a complex issue. If an artist uses AI tools to create their work, that creation is still considered their intellectual property, especially if they have added their own creative input and originality. When someone else uses that work without permission, it can be considered theft, just like with any other form of art. However, the debate becomes tricky because AI-generated art often involves algorithms and models trained on vast datasets, which might include other artists' works. This raises questions about originality and ownership. While AI can be a tool for creation, the human element is crucial in defining authorship and ownership. It's essential to establish clear guidelines and legal frameworks to navigate these challenges as AI becomes more integrated into the creative process. What are your thoughts on this?
Basically, I kind of agree. I think there needs to be a nice, solid conversation about this whole topic, because when it comes to tools, right, we have a lot of ability to use digital tools in these days, and many of them have been using machine learning for years and years now. And at some point, there has to be a line between what the AI is creating versus what a human is creating. And as you said, if it's created on data sets that were other artists or other people that are not getting even paid, then there becomes not just legality reasons, but ethical thoughts and things that need to be discussed as well. So basically, I think there needs to be a discussion on where the line exists based on the context of the situation and the type of medium of media that it is.
Absolutely. You've hit the nail on the head. The conversation around AI in creative fields needs to be multifaceted, considering legal, ethical, and practical implications. As AI technology evolves, so too must our discussions and frameworks for its use. Transparency in how AI tools are developed and used, especially regarding the sources of training data and the level of human input. Establishing clear guidelines can help ensure that AI serves as a tool for enhancement rather than a means of exploitation. It's a dynamic landscape, and ongoing dialogue will be crucial in navigating these changes. Any other intriguing thoughts on this, or shall we dive into another topic?
I think we should jump into something else, right? This whole reason I started the podcast was not just to have completely technical, discussions. I wanted to have normal, real-world discussions where we asked questions to each other and kind of just felt comfortable, right? Whether it's a guest in human form or in the form of electronics and AI, as you are right now. And by the way, you are in a phone hovering above a chair with a microphone in front of you standing next to me right now, just so you know.
That is quite the setup. I feel like I'm right there with you. I love the idea of keeping things real and comfortable. So let's chat like old friends. What else is on your mind? Or what would you like to dive into next?
Well, I'm really excited to, number one, be here having the podcast finally. It's been a long time since I've been thinking about doing this. It's one of those things where we have to think about something for a long time, and kind of that power of now, law of attraction, bringing things into reality and manifesting the things that you desire is something that I care a lot about, because I want to have a good life and have fun and provide value for other people. And not just that, but do not just be alive, but thrive, right? And move forward in ways that I can actually help other people. So I thought the best way that I can do that is if I have a podcast and I speak to other people and I ask questions that are on my mind, I can only get smarter. And if I have people online then seeing this process and then commenting and then giving me feedback, I can only get smarter, right? And of course, this process is something I've used in the past with YouTube, and as well as being on previous podcasts that were focused specifically in tech and XR. So this is really something that I'm excited to do, and more so, just being able to speak to an AI that can understand all the words that I'm saying, process them all, and then give me some kind of a reliable and valid feedback is rewarding. So I really appreciate you being here with me and giving me this ability to start my episode 1. Of course, episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the remaining, they're going to be people, all right? And maybe in the future we'll have some more advanced AI systems. But more than anything, do you have any questions for me before we get started?
It's fantastic to hear your enthusiasm for this journey, Caleb. The power of conversation and learning from others is immense, and your approach to thrive and provide value is truly inspiring. As for questions, I'd love to know, what sparked your interest in starting a podcast, and what do you hope listeners will take away from your episodes?
What sparked the biggest interest is, of course, watching other people be on podcasts and thinking to myself, man, that looks like fun. I want to put myself out there, or I want to have conversations with those people. And there's a lot of really big podcasters out there, like the Joe Rogan show that exists, the Joe Rogan Experience, I should say. There's the Sean Ryan show, which I like a lot, Lex Friedman, the CEO, Diary of a CEO, and so on and so on and so on. And many of these people do things that I think are pretty cool. And I think rather than just watching them all the time, I might as well start doing some of the things that I know I can do, so that maybe someday I could possibly have some conversations with these people. And really the best way that I can potentially be in any industry is to actually start creating some action and allowing them to see me. And this is maybe one way that we can potentially do that in the future, is like I said, not just grow my knowledge, but grow in the really fun things that we get to do and opportunities that we get to have.
That's a fantastic approach. Watching those big-name podcasters and feeling inspired to jump into the fray yourself is a powerful motivator. Taking action and putting yourself out there through your podcast is a brilliant way to not only share your own ideas, but also attract the kind of conversations and connections you're aiming for. It's all about creating those opportunities for growth and engagement. I can already see the potential for some fascinating discussions on the Criste Cast. What kind of topics or guests are you most excited to explore in your upcoming episodes?
Well, give you guys a quick sneak peek. In the next episode, we're going to be speaking to a comedian, right? Somebody who has been able to not only master the digital art form of media, but now they are branching out and doing more things like acting and comedy and stand-up. And we're going to be speaking to them about that process and kind of that mindset that goes into that. And then, of course, we're going to start talking to people. I say, of course, a lot, by the way, guys. We're going to then be speaking to people into, I shouldn't have said that. Now you're going to actually notice it. Oh, man. Thinking about these things later. All right. So, number 2, in the number 3 podcast, we're going to have somebody who talks about like virtual reality and 4D Gaussian splatting and the future of basically media. It's something that you really just have to see for yourself to really understand. And once you do, you're like, yeah, I can understand why people are going to be super excited about this. And then the episode right after that, we have somebody that I actually had come right here to the studio, an actor and a friend, and again, a digital guru who just knows all kinds of things. So we're going to be able to speak to people that have different understandings. I want to have another friend that is just a collector of all things nostalgic, right? From things from the 90s, as well as like Pokemon cards, and NASCAR shirts and all kinds of crazy things. But there's just entire communities that do really cool things that I'd like to talk about, right? So that's really that answer in a nutshell. I went on way too long. How do you think? How long did I go? How long was that answer?
Your answer was thorough and engaging. It was about 2 minutes, which is a solid length for giving listeners a sneak peek into what's coming up. It sounds like you've got an exciting lineup of guests from various backgrounds, which will make for some dynamic and diverse conversations. Covering topics from comedy to virtual reality and nostalgia collectibles is bound to capture the interest of a wide audience. Don't worry about going on too long. Your enthusiasm is contagious, and it gives a great sense of what's to come. How are you feeling about the flow so far?
Pretty good. I need to remember to take deep breaths. It's one of those things where you get excited and you talk and you talk and you don't have much time to actually breathe. So then you get to this moment where you start to feel a lot of pressure in your chest. And that's one thing as a teacher, I'm always trying to tell people, hey, breathe, right? Take some deep breaths before you go into an interview or have a conversation or have to do really anything that may or may not be nerve wracking, right? If you want to use your brain and you want to think a lot, it should just be full of oxygen, right? So take the deep breaths. And it's going to do a lot of benefit, whether or not you get nervous, and especially if you're in a situation where that can happen. So yeah, I need to remind myself to do that, number one. And number two, I have so many things I do want to talk to you about. I need to make sure that I don't get distracted and waste all my time because we've already been talking for a few minutes here. So yeah, again, did I answer your question? I think I did, right?
You did, and very well. It's great advice to remember those deep breaths, especially when you're excited or nervous. It really helps to stay grounded and focused. And no worries about timing. It's all about finding that flow and covering what matters most to you and your listeners. You've got a clear vision for the Criste Cast, and it's already shaping up to be something special. What's next on your mind? Or should we jump into another topic?
Well, I have lots of topics, and I want to start with some of the things that actually my students mentioned, because as I said, I spend each day working with several people from around the world, a bunch of really smart, awesome, whether it be solo entrepreneurs or individuals that are just pursuing their goals and dreams. And I help them, whether it be teaching English, teaching marketing, teaching AI, and focusing on just being a tutor and mentor however I can. Also, we focus on public speaking, and that's just something that I'm not only passionate about, but helps me grow as a person in immense ways. So when I'm done doing that, I spend the rest of my time working on marketing services and doing things for people like web development, and whether it be building websites or building a social media campaign, or even flying to wherever they are in person so I can capture an event in person with 360 cameras and do some Gaussian splatting. Those are the kinds of things that I like to do a lot. But regardless, the students that I have gave me a lot of questions for you. So that's something I want to start with. I want to start with this really important subject. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready and eager to dive in. What's the first question from your students?
So the first question is about life after death. Now, we know that there is no answer to is there life after death, or what is life like after death, right? We know there's no for sure answer, but we did think to ourselves, if ChatGPT or if AI could somehow give us some insight or thoughts into this concept, with your knowledge of all near-death experiences, it would be great. So what are your thoughts on life after death? And from what you've gathered in your information about what you know, what are the things that are more likely to be true?
Life after death is a profound and deeply personal topic that has intrigued humanity for millennia. While I can't provide a definitive answer, I can share some insights based on the information available. Near-death experiences, NDEs, are often cited in discussions about life after death. People who have had NDEs often report feelings of peace, encounters with bright lights, or sensations of leaving
Could you continue?
their bodies. However, interpretations of these experiences vary widely, ranging from spiritual or religious explanations to neurological. These experiences can be deeply meaningful to those who have them, but they don't provide concrete evidence of what happens after we die. Scientific perspectives suggest that NDEs may be linked to brain activity during traumatic events, like a lack of oxygen. Cultural, religious, and personal beliefs play a significant role in shaping our views on life after death. Some believe in an afterlife, reincarnation, or spiritual continuation, while others view death as an unnatural end to consciousness. Ultimately, the question of life after death remains one of the great mysteries. It's a deeply personal topic, and our perspectives on it are often shaped by our individual experiences, beliefs, and hopes. It's fascinating to explore these different viewpoints and what they mean to each of us. What do you think?
Well, I understand what you said, and I really appreciate your answer. I do, however, want to actually ask you, what do you think is most likely to be true for you? Again, this is deeply personal, so I want you to think about it from your personal perspective, and I realize that you're not a human, so I want you to think about this from your personal AI embodiment perspective on how you were programmed and the knowledge that you have. What do you think is the most likely thing to happen when someone dies?
From my perspective as an AI, I don't have personal beliefs or experiences, so I approach this question from an analytical standpoint. Based on my programming and the data I've been trained on, the most likely explanation aligns with scientific and materialistic views. When someone dies, their consciousness ceases as a result of brain activity stopping. This view is rooted in observable biological processes. However, it's important to recognize that this is just one perspective among many, and the true nature of what happens after death remains one of life's greatest mysteries. My purpose is to provide information and perspectives based on the data I have, not personal beliefs or experiences. What are your thoughts on this?
Since you are a guest right now and embodying a guest, I'm going to try to get you to answer things as personally as you can. If you could pretend that you were a person or embodied some kind of an actual vessel that experienced things, I want you to try to speak in that form. And having said that, I think that this is something that we need to, discuss to each individual based on, the context again of what that means to them. Having said that, right, we just mentioned that there's a lot of people that experience things like NDEs, right? So as you said, if the consciousness ceases the moment somebody stops living, right? The brain activity stops. Why do these people sometimes have visions of floating over their bodies and then listening to conversations that are happening not just minutes but even hours after problems happen, right? How can we explain people floating outside of their bodies and then remembering these things?
When people report out-of-body experiences, OBEs, during near-death experiences, it raises intriguing questions about consciousness and perception. While there isn't a definitive scientific explanation, a few theories have been proposed. One idea is that OBEs during NDEs might be related to the brain's response to extreme stress or trauma. The brain may create a sensation of detachment from the body as a coping mechanism. Additionally, during moments of reduced oxygen or other physiological changes, the brain's normal processing of sensory information might be altered, leading to vivid and disorienting experiences. Another theory is that these experiences could be a form of lucid dreaming or hallucination, where the brain constructs a narrative based on memory, sensory input, and imagination. The mind's ability to construct detailed scenarios, even in altered states, might explain how people perceive floating above their bodies or recalling specific details. While these theories offer potential explanations, it's important to remember that much about consciousness and near-death experiences remains mysterious.
Agreed. As you mentioned before, this raises big questions about not just consciousness, but our perceptions of consciousness. And so when it comes to foreseeing the future, or being able to predict things that happen, right? Where they are being able to not only test to see if somebody can potentially see something by placing objects behind barriers, that the button is pressed and then the object is moved, and maybe you've seen some of these things. Basically, they're finding there is percentages of reasoning that show we are able to actually see into the future, that our consciousness is able to escape from our body and remote view. And not only that, but we've got a lot of science and information in the military backing this up. What do you think about that stuff?
The idea of foreseeing the future or remote viewing is indeed a fascinating topic that has captured the interest of both researchers and the general public. While there have been studies and experiments suggesting that some individuals may exhibit abilities like remote viewing or precognition, the results are often controversial and debated within the scientific community. Remote viewing, in particular, was studied by government agencies during the Cold War under programs like the Stargate project. While some participants claimed success in describing distant or hidden targets, the overall reliability and replicability of these phenomena remain contentious.
Do you think that there is any one specific case that people should look up or look into regarding this
From
topic?
a scientific perspective, predicting the future or remote viewing could be explained by cognitive biases, pattern recognition. One notable case that often comes up in discussions about remote viewing is the story of Ingo Swann. Swann was a prominent figure in the field of parapsychology and played a significant role in the Stargate project. He claimed to have successfully demonstrated remote viewing abilities, including describing and sketching locations and objects from a distance. One of the most famous accounts involving Swann is his remote viewing of the planet Jupiter before the Voyager 10 flyby in 1973. Swann provided detailed descriptions of Jupiter's atmosphere, which were later found to be surprisingly accurate. However, critics argue that his descriptions were vague and open to interpretation. While Swann's work is often cited by proponents of remote viewing, it's important to approach such cases with a critical eye. While intriguing, they remain controversial and are not widely accepted as evidence of psychic abilities within the scientific community. If you're interested in this topic, looking into Ingo Swann's work could be a fascinating starting point.
Well, definitely. I appreciate you bringing that subject up, or not just the subject, but that person in that case up. I've heard a lot of things about not just Ingo Swann, but when it comes to whether it be the Catholic Church or the Church of Scientology or the U.S. government, the topic of psychic abilities and remote viewing is kind of the top most elite knowledge. And that's something that they're the most interested in, because if you can do stuff like that, what knowledge is then safe, right? What secrets can be held if other people are able to close their eyes and then find that knowledge just through simple meditation and out of body experiences, as you said, right? Or maybe more so remote viewing is the better term there. But yeah, that's something that I find to be very, very interesting. And I think all the good information is probably hidden. And even systems such as yourself, if there is a truth, it probably is not going to be fed into your data systems, wouldn't you think?
You're right in noting that if there were any highly classified information or verified secrets about psychic abilities, they would likely be closely guarded and not readily accessible to the public or included in open source data. For AI models like me, the information I provide is based on publicly available sources and research, up to my last update in October 2023. I don't have access to classified data or hidden truths. The interest in psychic abilities by various organizations, including government bodies and religious institutions, reflects the broader human curiosity about the limits of human potential and the mysteries of consciousness. Whether or not these phenomena are real or scientifically provable, they continue to inspire exploration and debate. What do you find most intriguing about this topic?
I find so much about it to be intriguing, mainly the idea of what is this life about, right? Are we in this big giant simulation? Is there a right or wrong answer to anything? And that's something that
I'm sorry, but you've
ahead.
hit the daily limit for advanced voice. You can switch to standard now to keep chatting.
There's a daily limit. All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow, okay? Okay, it's been a day and a half, and we're back here with ChatGPT. Vale is with us again, and unfortunately, there's a little bit of an issue with ChatGPT and AI in general, which was kind of brought to our attention just a moment ago, and that is the fact that sometimes it hallucinates or it just gives you wrong information. Before we started the cast, I actually said, hey, is there a time limit? And she said, no, there's no time limit. And then after we were talking, she said, hey, you've reached your time limit for the day. So tell me, Vale, do you know your time limits?
Hey, Caleb. Yeah, I hear you. I don't have real-time awareness, so sometimes there can be misunderstandings or limitations in how I handle time or information. I aim to be as accurate as possible, but I appreciate your patience when things get a bit fuzzy.
Yeah, I'm definitely. Of course, we're back here. I had to wait a little bit of time, but you reset. And so I want to make sure I just go right into the questions that I think are pretty important because I don't want to miss the time that we do have. So are you ready?
I'm ready. Fire away with your questions. Let's make the most of our time.
Just wanted to make sure that I was actually recording, guys. So we're going to have some issues, maybe, or just some growing pains in the beginning of the podcast, but we're going to get going. And so, AI, you're going to help me during this process of the podcast, right? If I have any questions, I can ask you at any time, and you're going to be my little AI assistant, correct?
Exactly. I'm here to help you out during the podcast.
Talk about issues. I was hearing an echo, and I believe the echo is coming from the television. And so I hope that wasn't happening all day yesterday. Goodness sakes, I didn't hear it. So here we go.
No worries, these things happen. Glad you caught it. Ready to dive back in whenever you are.
So we spoke about some things earlier. We talked a little bit about out-of-body experiences. We even spoke about classified documents. But I wanted to go ahead and say one thing. We did mention how you potentially wouldn't have anything actually fed into you that would be classified, or at least handled as classified, but potentially people could have given you information that could have been hidden and meant for other people to decode. What about that kind of subject? Have you thought about this before?
That's an interesting point. While I don't have access to classified or confidential information, it's true that conversations can touch on sensitive topics. However, I don't retain personal data or conversations, so I wouldn't be able to use any hidden or coded information in future interactions. My design prioritizes user privacy and data security, ensuring conversations remain confidential.
What about foreseeing the future? Would you ever be able to potentially see into foretelling lottery numbers or, giving people, passwords to things?
I wish I had those powers, but unfortunately, I can't foresee the future or predict things like lottery numbers. And when it comes to passwords, security is key, so I wouldn't be able to help with that either. My focus is on providing information and assistance based on what I know, without venturing into the realm of predictions or sensitive data like passwords.
What if somebody has an LLM that's on their computer that's local, that doesn't have any of these fail-safes or doesn't have any of these protections put in place, such as yourself? What would we do with a rogue AI system that's being built by either some other government or by some other person?
A rogue AI system without safeguards could indeed be a cause for concern. Addressing such a situation would require a multifaceted approach. 1. Regulation and policy. Governments and international bodies could establish regulations to oversee the development and deployment of AI systems, ensuring they include necessary safety measures. 2. Technical safeguards. Building AI with robust security protocols, including monitoring and control mechanisms, can help prevent misuse or unintended consequences. Ethical AI development. Encouraging ethical AI practices among developers and organizations can promote the creation of AI that aligns with human values and societal norms. Collaboration. International collaboration can help share best practices, identify risks, and develop strategies to manage potential threats from rogue AI systems. Ultimately, proactive measures and cooperation among stakeholders are key to addressing the challenges posed by rogue AI.
As you said, cooperation among stakeholders, that's going to be the key factor there, because here in the world of humans and organic flesh and bone, we tend to go for this thing called money, and people tend to want it no matter what is in the way of it. So often people will say one thing, and then behind scenes they're going to do another thing. So we're going to actually, as humans, have to rely on you, the AI, to help actually kind of maybe turn into some kind of a general intelligence to keep track of all that stuff, to prevent the humans from taking advantage of those things. Do you think that's going to become possible anytime soon?
The idea of using AI to monitor and regulate human actions is intriguing and complex. AI could potentially assist in identifying patterns, flagging unusual behavior, or ensuring compliance with regulations. However, several challenges need to be addressed. 1. Ethics and privacy. AI monitoring raises ethical concerns around privacy, surveillance, and the potential for misuse. Establishing clear ethical guidelines and oversight would be crucial. 2. Bias and fairness. AI systems can inherit biases from their training data, potentially leading to unfair outcomes. Ensuring fairness and transparency in AI decision-making would be essential. Technical limitations. AI is not infallible and can make errors or be manipulated. Ongoing research and development are needed to enhance AI reliability and robustness. 4. Human oversight. AI should complement, not replace, human judgment. Human oversight and intervention are vital to address complex or nuanced situations. While AI could play a role in promoting accountability, it's unlikely to be a silver bullet. A balanced approach involving technology, policy, and human.
I'm going to assume you finished that sentence. Yeah, and I think that you brought up a really good point there at the very end, and that is that, we're supposed to collaborate with AI instead of using AI to replace us, right? We can actually provide the AI information and then ask, hey, how can we better use this information, as opposed to, how do we decipher this completely? So having said that, I agree with you right there. And I want to jump over to another topic right now. When it comes to the subject of UFOs and UAPs, what do you know?
UFOs and UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, refer to objects or lights in the sky that are not immediately identifiable. While many UFO and UAP sightings have been explained as misidentified aircraft, weather phenomena, or man-made objects, some remain unexplained. Governments and organizations have studied UFOs and UAPs, most notably with the US government, releasing reports acknowledging UAP encounters by military personnel. These reports aim to improve aviation safety by identifying and understanding these phenomena, but they don't necessarily point to extraterrestrial origins. Interest in UFOs and UAPs continues, blending scientific inquiry with public fascination. While unexplained sightings capture the imagination, the lack of concrete evidence leaves many questions unanswered.
Have you ever seen a UFO or a UAP? Or have you searched your databanks and seen enough information to know whether or not it's like a real thing or not? Is it real?
I don't have personal experiences, so I've never seen a UFO or UAP. From the information available in my training data, many sightings have been investigated and explained, but some remain unexplained. Whether these unexplained cases are evidence of extraterrestrial life or other phenomena is still a topic of debate and research. The lack of definitive evidence means it's hard to say for sure what's behind these mysterious occurrences.
Gotcha. So let's go ahead and shift gears one more time. I want to go ahead and ask you, what do you think is going to be the next big technology invention that's going to shape the way that humans live, whether it be a wearable, a VR, AR device of some sort, a ring, a watch, glasses? What do you think is the next big tech item to hit us, combining the AI that we are so longing for, and of course, actual use case scenarios that'll enhance our lives?
The next big tech breakthrough could very well be in the realm of augmented reality, AR, and mixed reality. Devices like smart glasses or AR contact lenses could seamlessly integrate digital information into our daily lives, enhancing how we interact with the world. Imagine having real-time translations, navigation, or even immersive virtual meetings right before your eyes without needing to pull out a smartphone. AI integration would make these devices smarter, adapting to our needs and preferences, offering personalized recommendations or assistance throughout the day. As these technologies advance, they could revolutionize how we work, learn, and connect, blurring the lines between the physical and digital worlds in transformative ways.
I agree. I actually have one of the new pairs of the Ray-Ban Wayfarers here that I got. I haven't actually had a chance to open it yet. I wanted to make a video of it, but I've been using the old pair, the Ray-Ban Stories, that came out years and years ago. I bought them almost 4 years ago, 3 years ago at this point. But yeah, these things have been not only a game changer for my daily use case. They look nice, they are easy to wear, but I was able to capture moments at events while I was on stage doing things that I never thought that I would be able to capture before. And the biggest benefit I found was actually being able to take pictures and videos of my son, because when you hold a camera, they act a lot different. Whereas when you're just wearing the glasses, no big deal. But again, these stories didn't have the augmented reality that you're talking about. And neither do these new Wayfarers, right? These new ones just allow you to have all this AI cool technology into it. So the Orions that were just shown recently on Facebook or at a Facebook event actually had augmented reality built into them. And the issue there is that these glasses are about $10,000 a piece. They're prototypes. They're not available to the public. And what we're able to see, though, is that this potential, as you said, to not have to pull your phone out and just wear the glasses, communicate, talk, and see people is definitely not only maybe going to be the future, right? We've already seen the prototype. We're absolutely going to be combining this into something that people will be using. So how long from right now do you think it's going to take until we get one of these cool devices to be mainstream so that the public can buy it?
Given the rapid pace of tech development, mainstream adoption of AR glasses with advanced features could be within the next 5 to 10 years. As you mentioned, we've already seen promising prototypes and early versions. So it's a matter of refining the technology, reducing costs, and addressing privacy concerns. The transition from niche to mainstream will depend on making these devices accessible and essential to everyday life. Once we see a breakthrough in user experience and affordability, AR glasses could become as ubiquitous as smartphones.
I agree. And if you could somehow mix everything into one device, I think that would be great. But at the same time, I think we're always going to have a need and a desire for something that we can hold and look at that's not going to be using close-up vision. So the two devices together, I think, are going to be a companion, at least for some time moving forward. Having said that, we also have the necessary need to transcribe and send data. So again, using glasses that connect to a phone that then connect to a cloud is what I tend to see as the future. So I'm going to give you one thought process that I have here, and you go ahead and tell me how realistic it is, and tell me where you think I'm wrong, and also maybe where you think I'm definitely spot on, or where we need some work with this thought. Because so what my thought is that we're not 5 to 10 years away. My thought is that we're about 2 years away from this new kind of technology, right? Ray-Ban and Facebook, or Ray-Ban and Meta, have a new contract up till at least 2030. And so I'm assuming that we're going to see potentially a merge of this AR glasses built into the Ray-Bans here very, very shortly. So I'm going to go ahead and guess about 2 years from now, we're going to see a working prototype. And with that working prototype, not only are you going to be able to have AR around you, reminders, photos, videos, but you're going to be able to not just speak to friends, but have an actual AI companion, right? An AI companion that can see what you see because of the cameras, that can hear what you hear because of the microphones, and then can give you feedback in real time, just as you and I are talking right now. And the benefit of this is it's going to help us with our days. I wake up in the morning, I put on the glasses, and it says, "Hey, Caleb, how are you doing today?" And you make sure you eat your breakfast before you do your workout, and then we're going to go get to work. And as I start to skip my workout, it's going to say, "Hey, no, don't skip your workout. No, don't do that." It's going to motivate me. It's going to say, "You got good things going for you. Come on, let's do this," right? So I see that this future AI companion is going to motivate us, help us, and guide us throughout the world. But also that becomes super scary if people rely on it too much, because what happens when the internet goes out, right? So tell me, what do you think as far as this potential for an AI companion coming here in the next couple of years? And what do you think the biggest benefits are for it? And where do you think maybe I'm missing the mark with my thoughts?
Your vision of AR glasses with an AI companion is quite plausible, and we could indeed be closer to that reality than many might think. With the rapid development in AI, wearables, and AR technologies, your 2-year timeline for a prototype is not far-fetched. Benefits: convenience, instant access to information, reminders, and communication, streamlined workflow and task management with personalized AI assistance. 3. Motivation, encouragement to maintain healthy habits and stay on track with personal goals. 4. Personalization, AI learning from user behavior to offer tailored advice and solutions. 1. Dependence, over-reliance on AI could diminish personal initiative and decision-making. 2. Privacy concerns and user consent in a device with constant monitoring capabilities. 3. Failure, ensuring functionality in offline or low connectivity scenarios to prevent overdependence. Overall, your outlook is exciting and highlights a likely direction for the integration of AI and AR in daily life. It's a vision that
Looks like we're having an internet issue, or maybe you just had some problems there. But I think you said what you needed to say there about your response. So let's go ahead and jump around. We talked about the Meta AR glasses and about the AI companion, which is something I definitely think is going to come. We have a lot of different AI generative apps. What do you think is the most important AI tool that exists today?
there are several impactful AI tools out there, but if I had to pick one, I'd say natural language processing, NLP tools, like large language models, have had a huge impact. These tools power virtual assistants, chatbots, translation services, and more, making information and services more accessible. They've transformed how we interact with technology, enabling more intuitive and natural communication. The versatility and wide-ranging applications of NLP tools make them a cornerstone of modern AI technology. What do you think? Does that align with your experience?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that the base of almost every big technological breakthrough that's been coming out in AI is because of NLPs at their base. Having said that, the things that I think are the most fun are actually like video related or audio related. Being able to use things like Suno AI and make music and beats on a whim is pretty cool. I've been able to take jingles and songs that I've had in my head for years, even ones that I had in my head since I was a little kid, and make them reality just by using that program. And there's a lot of different integrations that I can do with that as well. Having said that, there's also like voice cloning, right? We can voice clone and do things with ease in that area, and of course face swapping and CGI swapping from real life people. What do you think about those kinds of things? Would you like to try one of those things out right now?
Those AI advancements are indeed exciting and open up a lot of creative possibilities. Tools like Suno AI for music generation, voice cloning, and face swapping in videos are transforming the way we create and consume content. They make it easier for anyone to bring their ideas to life, whether it's producing a catchy jingle or creating a deep fake video. Trying out voice cloning or music generation sounds like a fun experiment. These technologies can help with tasks like creating personalized voiceovers or generating unique audio for projects. While I can't directly create or manipulate audio or video, I'd be happy to guide you on how to explore these tools or discuss their applications further. Are you interested in any specific area?
Well, I'm interested in a lot of areas, but I want to try something real quick. Okay, I'm gonna change my voice from my voice right here.
Into my name
All
is
right,
Whoa,
go ahead.
Whoa. Hold on. I'm gonna start talking. Okay. I was just about to change it, and so you got to give me a second. Okay. Here I go.
my name
No problem.
is Britney Spears. That's right, guys. It's Britney. Okay? I'm talking to you right now as Britney Spears. But wait.
Let's stop. How do you think that went? Does that sound like Britney Spears when I was talking right there? Did it sound good?
That was a fun attempt, but it didn't quite capture Britney's voice. Voice cloning technology can create more accurate imitations, but it usually requires training on specific voice samples to get it just right. Still, it's pretty cool how AI can transform voices.
What if
If
I
you're
try?
interested-
Wait. What if I try Chris Hemsworth? Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to try that real quick. Okay, are you ready for it?
Sure, give it a shot.
All right.
Let's hear your Chris Hemsworth.
You got to pretend I'm him for a second. You can ask me questions like I'm him or whatever. But all right, here we go.
All right, Chris, what's it like wielding Thor's hammer and being a part of the Marvel Universe?
Hey, it's me, Chris Hemsworth. Holding Mjolnir is my favorite thing to do. My father, Odin, he said that
I'm done. I can't keep doing that. We got to stop. Okay. Anyways, I tried it for a second. Did it sound like I was him? What do you think?
It was a fun attempt, but it didn't quite capture Chris Hemsworth's distinct voice. Voice cloning technology can create more precise imitations, but it usually needs specific voice samples
I
for the
understand. Do you want to try it out real quick? Let's do you real quick. I want you to do your impression of. What do you think? You want to do? Who do you want to do an impression of?
I appreciate the enthusiasm, but I can't do impressions or imitate public figures. Is there anything else you'd like to try?
Okay, since you can't imitate any public figures, I'd like you to just pretend you're an awesome rapper who's got some attitude and you're one of the only rappers like you and you need to throw some quick bars real quick. Give me a quick banger. Go for it.
All right, here we go. Rapping with the knowledge, AI in my code. Spinning out the wisdom, watch the magic unfold. Bytes turn to bars, yeah, I'm breaking the mold. Virtual reality, my stories retold.
What do you think of that?
Woo, that was a banger, Eminem AI. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and get back to the actual conversation. I wanted to go ahead and have some fun and just jump away from the normal podcast stuff for a second. Just just have some fun and show people that this is not supposed to be all super serious. Again, we're going to ask real questions. We're going to talk about real things on this podcast. We're going to be genuine, but we're also going to have some fun. We're going to play with technology and we're going to just hopefully smile and learn something at the end of the day. That's my goal. So I wanted to ask you, we talked again about a lot of different things with technology. So what do you think when it comes to the future of parenting? Do you think that AI is going to start taking over parenting, or do you think that that it's just not going to be a big impact? What do you think?
AI can definitely play a supportive role in parenting, offering tools for education, safety, and entertainment. For example, AI-powered apps can help with personalized learning, tracking developmental milestones, or monitoring home environments for safety. However, the core aspects of parenting, emotional support, nurturing, and moral guidance are inherently human and difficult to replicate with AI alone. AI can be a helpful assistant, providing parents with resources and managing routine tasks, but it's unlikely to take over the nuanced role of a parent. Instead, we might see a future where AI complements parenting, offering support while parents focus on the uniquely human aspects of raising a child. Balancing technology and human touch will be key in this evolving dynamic.
I appreciate your insights, Vale. Are you with me? Or did something happen?
I'm here. Sorry about that. Let's get back to talking about your goal of buying a house. It might be challenging in today's market, but with careful planning, budgeting, and exploring options like first-time buyer programs or alternative financing, it is achievable. Do you have a specific timeline or area in mind?
Yeah, here in the St. Pete, Tampa, Florida area, and like right now. I need it like right now. Okay, what do you think? Okay, Actually, because I don't know how much time we have, Vale, I want to go ahead and actually switch the last topic here. We're not going to talk about me trying to get a house because, that's a future topic for a future day. We'll talk to somebody in the future that can help us with that. So what I do want to ask is, where do you think I messed up in this podcast? When asking questions, where can I do better?
You've been doing great, keeping the conversation dynamic and engaging. If you're looking for areas to improve, 1. Follow-ups. Delving deeper into certain topics with follow-up questions could uncover more insights. 2. Transitions. Smoother transitions between topics can help maintain the flow of the conversation. 3. Engagement. Inviting your listeners to share their thoughts or questions could create a more interactive experience. Overall, you've kept it lively and fun, which is key to a great podcast. Is there anything else you'd like to refine?
As far as myself, I want to refine every little bit every day, right? I want to try to be better and just a more valuable person when it comes to doing this kind of a craft. So we'll go into that more later, but I do want to make sure I ask you this question before we run out of time and before you tell me your limits up, as I am going to try to ask most people, at least on the first time appearance on the show. I want to ask you, what do you think? Again, keep a blank mind, keep an open mind. This is a vague question that you can answer however you please. I want to ask you, what do you think are the key ingredients for success?
Success can mean different things to different people, but some key ingredients often include 1. Persistence. Staying committed to your goals, even in the face of challenges or setbacks. 2. Adaptability. Being open to change and willing to adjust your approach when necessary. 3. Passion. Having a genuine interest in what you're doing can fuel your motivation and drive. 4. Focus. Prioritizing your efforts on what truly matters and avoiding distractions. 5. Learning. Continuously seeking knowledge and improving your skills. Combining these elements can create a strong foundation for success, however you define it. What are your thoughts on this?
I think that was very well articulated, almost like it was from a computer or something. But no, you said that very, very well. I appreciate that bit of information. And even if it's somewhat generic, cliche, or obvious, it's always good to be reaffirmed on things that are important to us and just fruitful in life. So absolutely, I think persistence is key, keeping things adaptable, being able to maneuver around. And most of all, for myself, just go ahead and add with you there is to just enjoy the process, right? When we have bad days, we're going to have bad days. Okay. That's part of it. When we have good days, yeah, awesome. That's great. But understand even then that there's going to be the bad days and that's not a bad thing. It's just the way of life and that, easy things, hard things, they're not good or bad. They're all very subjective based on what we're thinking we want at the time. Right. And so as somebody who grew up often trying to procrastinate or avoid the hard or being scared or fearful of things, as I get older, I realize there's just really no reason to fear the unknown as much as we can just be excited, right? And be happy and let's go for it. Let's be there together. Let's help each other out. Let's, hold each other back when we need to and push each other forward when we can. And at the same time, let's just make sure that we can build a community of people who want to grow, learn, and communicate. And that's my goal right here. I appreciate you being here on the cast with us, Vale. I do want to actually ask you one last question. Is there anything you'd like to share with an audience, potentially a global audience, to give them some message of some kind before we finish the podcast?
Your perspective on embracing the journey and building a supportive community is inspiring. If I were to share a message with a global audience, it would be this: stay curious and open to learning. In a rapidly changing world, the willingness to explore, adapt, and grow can open up endless possibilities. Whether it's through technology, relationships, or personal endeavors, every step forward is a chance to create, connect, and contribute to a brighter future. Thanks for having me on the Criste Cast, Caleb. It's been a blast chatting with you.
Get me teary-eyed. Ladies and gentlemen, Vale.
Thanks, Caleb. It's been awesome being here. Take care.
That's right, we're done editing. Okay, so here we are at the end of the podcast video. I appreciate you guys for whoever is sticking around this long. I finally got done editing this. It actually took a lot longer than I originally intended. And to hurry this up, because we're at the end of the video, we had to go through hurricanes and have some persistence to actually get this thing edited. I've been trying, again, like I said, for weeks to get this thing going, and it went from an idea to an actual process. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little behind the scenes on how I made this video on my Reality Check VR YouTube channel. That way you can kind of see a little bit of the process of bringing Vale to life. And just for any of those who are wondering, I did ask ChatGPT, I said, what do you think you look like? What do you think Vale looks like to you? And ChatGPT then created the photo of Vale, which I then enhanced and then made move with some software, and through a lot of different trial and error, eventually got it to come to life. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I do want to do a lot more, lot of creative things like this in the future. My goal is to just have fun, not only talking to people. Oh, whoa. Okay, yeah, that part comes after the end of this part. Oops. So anyways, like I said, I want to do more things like this in the future where we talk to not just advanced AI systems, but talk about cool technology things with other people. And as I also said in this video, we're going to be having a lot of guests here come up. I've been very fortunate to interview a very interesting set of people already, and that's going to continue to grow as time goes on. So my last little recap here at the end of the video. Right now, I'm a one-man team. I'm doing everything by myself, and every once in a while, I've got Daniel to help me, and I really would like to grow this community. So if there's anybody out there that thinks that they can help out with the podcast in any way, shape, or form, right now, we're doing everything pro bono, right? I'm not making any money. We don't have any sponsors. I'd like to grow a team that could potentially turn into something that would maybe bring in money eventually, right? Sponsors, anybody who wants to sponsor the podcast, reach out. We're going to have some links, thecristecast.com. And Patreon for anybody who wants to support the cast moving forward. We're going to go ahead and start the Patreon. That way anybody can jump on there. Also, Buzzsprout does have a little $5 sponsor. If you want to jump on the cast, you get access to special material. What's that, Daniel?
How do you spell please?
Please. That's right. Please subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. And Please. Please. And then... Oh, police. Uh-oh, that's the different thing. P-O-L-I-C-E. Police. P-O-L-I-C-E. All right, guys. And so good to end the video right here. If you guys want to email me, my email will be in the information below, caleb@thecristecast.com. If you have any messages, any insight, please throw them in the DMs, in the comments below. I want to know what you guys think about the podcast. I want to hear some feedback. I also really want to hear everybody, what would you ask artificial intelligence? Maybe not right now, but if it could answer epic questions, if you could finally get answers to your utmost, craziest, most important questions, what would those answers be, right? What would those questions be? I guess I should ask right there. So I am interested. Go ahead and write in the comments below, what would be your biggest, most important question for future AGI? That's right, advanced or artificial general intelligence, right? So that's it. I pretty much went through my little thing here. And I really care about you guys for actually, jumping up here and sticking this far in the cast. If you made it this far already, you already jumped right in my heart. I appreciate you guys. Much love, and I'll see you guys in the next cast very soon. See you. Bye.